We are in beautiful Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Mr. Brewzle.
Is this the right store?
No, what, dude? We were watching your stuff the other day, man.
Really? Got a decent bourbon selection here?
Yeah, but I hurt your feelings with the prices. Me and one other American left in this town.
You never know when you get famous. One line, that's all you need.
Can you help me get famous? Can you give me the line?
Dude, man, 752K.
We're doing okay. This morning we are in beautiful Bowling Green, Kentucky. The weather is absolutely pristine for some bourbon hunting. Had to go up to Louisville for an event we're gonna be at tonight and tomorrow. I've hunted Louisville tons of times. Realized never hunted Bowling Green. Driving right by here, why not stop? See what kind of whiskey we can find. Now, Bowling Green has a lot of liquor stores, and so we're definitely not going to be able to hit them all with the limited time that we have available, but I've picked out quite a few of them. Some of them look very promising. Let's see what we can get into. This is Chuck's Wine and Spirits. Double oak barrel picks. What's the price? Oh, dude, $68 for a double oak store pick. Can't freaking beat that. Man, it's a big store. Apparently buying wild turkey by the truckload. 4-year Willie Rye. How's it going?
Mr. Brewzle.
What's up, man?
How are you?
All right, just doing a little bourbon hunting this morning. Is this the right store?
No, what, dude? We were watching your stuff the other day, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
TJ, nice to meet you.
Zach.
well, we follow you and pay attention to what's going on, and
appreciate it.
you did a trip on the Oregon coast, and that's where I grew up.
Oh, had a lot of fun on the Oregon coast.
And so it was interesting because I'm so old school that the Oregon liquor stores used to only be open from like 9 to 12.
Like,
And 1 to 4. They were
so
state run. There were no private
just a
liquor
few
stores
hours a day.
in the 80s. They were only so my parents would have to leave work to go home and get their brandy or whatever they wanted for the night.
That's funny. So they've gotten a little better.
They've gotten a little better because they're privatized. They've got some privatized stores now, but still run by the commission. Like
Yeah, I think the distribution is run by the state, but the
Yeah.
stores are privately owned. Yeah, kind of
Isn't
franchise.
that funny? Isn't that
That's
funny?
crazy, man.
How did you come across us today?
Just luck. I've got to be up in Louisville tomorrow. Never hunted Bowling Green. Just decided to stop here because it's on the way. And then this was just
Right by the
I
interstate.
just Googled, and this was one of the stores that popped up.
So we are kind of the bourbon store in town.
I be looking at your Google listings. That's kind of what I saw the barrel pick. That's always when I'm looking at photos on Google listings. If I see barrels with bottles on them, that's usually a good
So
sign.
in this store, everything from this Knob Creek around to our own are single barrels.
Okay.
And then we've got a Jack Daniel's rye up there that we picked. It's from the Coy Warehouse, but we can't call it that. But it's from the
Coy Hill, yeah.
It's the number corresponds with it. And then what's the other one?
1792.
1792 full proof.
Okay.
And then the Elijah Craig is those are the 3 newest ones that have come in.
So what's it like having a liquor store in Kentucky?
Well, everybody thinks you can just come and get whatever.
And everything's
anytime.
readily available.
Yeah. They leave a little disappointed lots of times. They expect to just be able to come here and find the hard stuff that's hard to find back home. They expect to be able to locate it here.
Yes.
Blanton's, it should be every day.
Yeah.
It's only once a month.
And which was last week, was our Buffalo Trace drop.
So I'm a week late.
And it was a
Well,
really
it was
weak
real
drop.
this month.
Any particular reason it's weak this month?
Probably not, but usually the big drops are October, December,
Okay.
and then whatever's leftovers in January.
Time of the year.
Yeah, and it's February.
Sweet.
Yeah, there'll usually be another big drop. Maybe like let's say the next big one will probably be June or July.
Okay. So what do you think they should be drinking instead of the stuff they can't find?
A single barrel store pick would be the way to go because it's hand selected by people that usually know what they're doing.
What's your best single barrel you've got here right now?
I got top 5. I'm a big fan.
Okay. You like the Knob Creeks?
Knob Creek, we do a lot of them. We picked out 2 that were sister barrels.
Now I'm hearing these are moving to cash strength.
They are, but we're not. We're on the line to pick one, but we won't pick that until late April.
Gotcha.
They're having some issues with the bottle because it's higher proof.
Popping cork.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're having to redesign the bottle.
I mean, it's already 120 proof. You wouldn't
I
think
know.
it'd be that much of a
They
difference.
like it hot around here.
Yeah.
It's going to be hot.
Well, the interesting thing for us is when we go do a pick at Knob Creek, we get to sample them at barrel strength, and then we get to sample them at 120. And the last 3 or 4 times we've been, the number 1 pick at barrel strength has finished last at proof, and the one that we didn't like at barrel strength wound up being the one we picked. And then we had 2 picks that were sister barrels 1 year apart. So one was a 9-year, the other one was a 10-year. The 10-year sold out quite quickly, and there's just a couple 9 years hanging on. And then this was our last one that we went, but people have liked that one a lot. So I would say this one right here, probably have to go with the Jack Daniel's.
Okay.
The rye.
The not Coy Hill.
The not Coy Hill. I'm a Ledge Craig fan, so I like the Ledge Craig private barrels.
Those can be really good. I just got a toasted barrel picks or cash strength.
Yeah, they haven't
They're
been
so
offered.
good.
They haven't been offered.
Yeah, those are so
here
good.
to us yet. We do a lot of barrel picks, so as you can tell, we got quite a few.
Yes, quite a few. All of them.
We've got a few more coming up here in a month or two.
What happens when you carbonate bourbon? I don't know. Let's find out. Because with today's sponsor, DrinkMate, you can carbonate literally anything. Now, bourbon, probably not the best idea, but you can carbonate juice, tea, sports drink, wine, cocktails, even flat beer and soda. My kids are always getting a can of soda, drinking half of it, throwing it back in the fridge. They're never coming back to it because it's always flat. And now I have a solution with the DrinkMate OmniFizz. Because if you could drink it, you can fizz it. Thanks to its patented fizz infuser technology, we've got carbonated bourbon, and DrinkMate is the only home carbonation system that lets you fizz more than just water. Just press a button and take your favorite drinks to the next level. No electricity, no batteries, just CO2 and a whole lot of creativity. That is odd and not a good idea. But what if you wanted to upgrade your whiskey cocktails? You could try carbonated mixers like apple cider, cold brew, or sweet and sour mix. Dude, that's actually really good. You could make sparkling old fashions or a fizzy whiskey sour. You control the fizz so you can make sure your beverage is perfect every single time. And the OmniFizz doesn't just work great, it looks great too. It's available in black, white, red, and Arctic blue, so it fits into any decor you have going on in your bar. DrinkMate is consistently rated the best home carbonator out there, and once you try it, you'll understand why. Because we actually have a competitor's product, and we tried carbonating bourbon, and although this was a bad idea, we didn't get near this level of carbonation using the other product. Head to drinkmate.us and use code Brewzle to save 20% on your DrinkMate and accessories. Let's get back to that video. Any hidden gems in here I should be looking for? Smaller brands, different things that...
Have you tried Barrel House Select Kit?
I don't think so.
I watched a lot of your videos, so $42.99. Got a little bit of a toasted pecan finish by the process that they use.
So distilled and bottled by them, or is it...
The still is in their restaurant in Lexington.
Okay.
They're right down the road from Old Pepper in that warehouse district in Lexington.
It's the only one you got? I'm gonna hide this one then so I don't have to tote it around, but I definitely want it.
No, we'll put it right here. Other hidden gems. This one is local, right? HK Young. It's one of their toasted barrels. I actually have that for sample too if you want to take a look.
I would rather say, yeah, me and toasted barrels,
Don't.
we're hit or miss. I either love them or I don't.
Sure. Falls. You've obviously probably seen short barrel.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I think I have that Bee's Knees 4 right there.
All Bardstowns. Hidden gems. What are we looking at for hidden gems?
Yeah, just something maybe I haven't picked up or I would walk right past. There's a lot to look at here. So you're liable to look, right past some good stuff. Oh, I just got the Penelope weeded too.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff.
Kentucky Spirit pick.
Oh yeah, Wild Turkey.
Their pick. I know Old Elk's not Kentucky. The weeded one is fairly decent. It was before I got here, but I believe the Ezra Brooks are all the old Heaven Hill juice.
Really, the Ezra Brooks stuff's really good. I like it. I mean, I think that's an underrated bottle.
Jay Mattingly.
Yeah, I've got quite a few Mattingly bottles at the house. I don't buy these a lot just because
At one point we
we
were the
haven't
largest.
finished them all, but
We were one of the largest sellers in the United States.
those are nice. I bought like 5 or 6
Yeah.
of them a few years
Yeah.
ago, and then
Well,
before we started the channel.
it takes a while to get through them when they're
Well,
high
they're,
proof.
they're nuclear, yeah.
You're based out of
This stuff
Alabama, is
don't-
that correct?
This stuff don't linger around here.
I understand.
We
If
gotta
it
get
gets
stuff-
good, it gets gone.
Yeah, it goes pretty quick around here.
Let's go up here to the front. We usually keep like limited edition and allocated products kind of up in this area, and then we got this whole counter.
So typically when you get allocated, you just put them out.
We don't hide them. We put them out. So we got a couple left from the drop last week.
The Buffalo Trace, the double oaks.
We got some double doubles,
What
the
do you think about-
117 sirs.
What do you think about the price of that double oak?
It's a little high.
I feel like they missed the mark on that one.
Yeah.
It's
And
good. I just bought it, but I
Have you had it yet?
yeah,
Like
it's
coffee,
good.
like straight coffee.
It's just not a $200 bottle. It's $60.
They're very proud of it.
$60 for a double oaked. Why is that one 3 times the price? Like make it $99, not $200.
Right, and you know that they went to the 700 milliliter this year versus the 375,
exactly.
but still.
Yeah.
I don't like the price. Other than that, I love the bottle.
Yeah. So that's basically what we do. Have you had the Boone County Amarana? Yeah, you don't like finished bourbons. I know. That's because they're trying to hide what's.
I mean, some finished bourbons, but not Amberana.
Yeah.
Amberana's too strong for me. It's
Yeah.
I think the flavors of Amburana can be good. Usually they're too heavy. I want some complexity in my whiskey. I want to taste something up front. I want a mid palate. I want to finish. And with Amburana, it just kills it. And a lot of heavy finishes do that, where the whiskey just doesn't stand up to the finish. And Amburana is one of those where you got to have a really strong whiskey to stand up to that finish. 117 have we got here. Extra old 117 series right there for $80. I probably need that, but I think I got one.
Lincoln Pinch, have you had a Lincoln Pinch barrel pick?
I haven't had a barrel pick, I don't believe. I have had a bottle from them, but I don't recall exactly what I thought of it.
You want to try sip?
Absolutely. The answer's always yes.
So they're right down the road here in Franklin.
Okay, so they're about as local as it gets.
Local as you get, yeah.
And this is their distillate?
This is their distillate. And we were the first Kentucky single barrel that they released, the second single barrel overall. Then we sold through that one. This is the second version that we've gone and picked. Interesting little baking spice in the middle.
Yeah, that's different. It's a little crafty, right? There's a little, I don't know, there's some interesting kind of oak tannins in it, right? And my palate wants to pick it up kind of as doughy like I get on, but then all that spice hits and it doesn't really come across as doughy. Really good craft whiskey, but not for everybody, for sure. A lot of oak tannins on that one. Man, it's a big store.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have 4 in town.
You have 4 different stores. Is this the biggest one? Is this the flagship store?
Yeah. The original store is on the other side of town. We have this location here, the Louisville Road location, Scottsville Road, and then our owner's original store is called Red Barn over by campus.
Okay, I think Red Barn might have been on my list
Red Barn
to visit.
Liquor?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that's on the list as well. Too much to look at. Cheaper than you can get it at the distillery. I'm still bitter about that. I passed on one of these at 99, and they're like 130 something at the distillery. All right, I'm gonna try to show the selection here, but we're gonna miss most of it. Like, there's no way to show it all. Might be one of the biggest bourbon selections I've run into.
And then this is just the specialty stuff in the store picks.
There's
a whole other bourbon.
There's an aisle for the normies. All right, barrel picks, and this is the one from the Coy Hill Rick House. I was about to say, I thought it was a rye. Was it a rye?
This is all we have left of our bourbon.
Gotcha.
Single barrel.
Shh, it's not bourbon.
Oh, well, yeah, correct.
It's bourbon. It's bourbon.
And then
Okay, that's the Coy Hill Rye.
that's the Coy Hill Rye.
Gotcha. What in the world is that? Yeah, this
Yeah, so
legendary. This is a vodka bottle.
yeah, those were things that we brought in at Christmas time last year, sold out. Like not 2024, but 2023.
Right.
So then we brought some more in, and then didn't go over as well this year as they did last year. But
Funny how that works sometimes, isn't it?
Isn't it fun?
Let's see, we got stuff in here. Of course, all the freaking barrel picks in the world, all down through here. Which one is this? This is a rye from Starlight. And of course, you've got the actual bourbon selection here. Kentucky, you're going to find all the benchmark stuff. $15 for a benchmark top floor right there, all the way up to $30 for the foolproof and bonded. As somebody who's trying to get a bottle into the market, that's not fair. It's perfectly fair. I'm joking. Now, I know a lot of y'all try to peek in the background at scotches and different things, so I'm going to show the scotch, the rum, and the tequila as well real quick. Don't know anything about any of these, so I'm not sure if any of these are rare. I have a few of these bottles, so I assume they're not super rare, but you never can tell. There's some higher end tequilas over here. I think somebody was telling me they really liked it, this one, but I'm in $300 bottles. I'd better know I'm gonna like it. And again, I don't know anything about any of those. That one's got like gold flakes at the bottom of it. That's freaking crazy. All right, here's your fancy Irish and Scotches. Blue Label Johnny Walker. We had a lot of fun with that one. Apparently people get mad if you call it an Irish whiskey. All right, the normal tequila selection here. Our wide angle lens definitely makes this a little easier. Makes it a lot easier, actually. And of course, rums. I know somebody bought this. These are mostly for display, but my dad was in 82nd Airborne. So I keep looking at them, but we don't buy whiskey to look at. We buy whiskey to drink most of the time. All right, I feel like we need to find a store pick that we can pit. He said the Jack Rye, but I'm looking for something to drop in the infinity barrel. And we could drop the Jack Ryes in there. I feel like I want to try something more bourbon. And I did just buy a Coy Hill Warehouse. I think I have an Ezra pick laying around. I'm gonna pick this one up and we're gonna try it versus the one I got at the house. Loser goes into the infinity bucket. Now you said that Ezra was good stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna try this one versus a pick I have at home. Loser goes into the infinity barrel.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, knocking on heaven's door. Yes.
Knocking on heaven's door.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We put the labels on them to differentiate them.
Yeah.
The tater stickers.
We had Knocking on Heaven's Door, Stairway to Heaven, and there was a third one.
103.86, sir.
Into the infinity barrel.
I hope it wins. I hope it doesn't go.
You never know.
You never. Blinds are weird like that.
Put your copy there.
Thank you.
I think we know who you are. We can track you down if it doesn't.
Yes, sir.
If something happens. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you stopping in.
Really nice to meet you, sir.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right.
Y'all take it easy.
Can we get a picture with you outside?
Oh, you outside, inside, wherever you want a picture, it's fine.
Exactly.
Okay, 2 bottles deep, little receipt check right here. Taxed us at $5.88 for a total of $103.86. Let's get back to hunting. And of course, with a store name like Shenanigans Liquors, of course we gotta go to that one.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Well, Shenanigans, up to Shenanigans. Didn't want us to record in there. Got a lot of allocated stuff, all secondary. Not super high secondary, like the Stack Juniors were $170 or so. Everything's still pretty well marked up. Not ludicrous, but not great. Other than the allocated stuff, not really much of a selection at all. Unless you want to pay secondary, let's look at the next door. And now, Lost River Liquors. American owned and operated for 3 generations. They have apparently the coldest beer in town. We've got a YouTube channel where we just go store to store looking for bourbon. Got a decent bourbon selection here?
Yeah, but I hurt your feelings with the prices.
Well, that can happen sometimes too.
All right, well.
I wouldn't mind the conversation though.
All right.
So most of your stuff's gonna be secondary?
Most of it's prices where it's high.
Gotcha.
It's $1,100.
Okay.
$199, $299, and $399. $899 on the single barrel in the gold, $199 on the regular Blanton's, $369 on the Elmer T. Lee, $399 on that old Forester. That big Weller's $169.
Big boy.
That's usually the ones most everybody asks about.
Okay.
That's that.
Anything here that's really good that nobody asks about? Bourbon
Well, you
one?
know I'm a fan of that Evan Williams 1783.
Okay. That's a good bottle. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm an Evan Williams bonded fan a little more. I like that 100 proof.
white
Yeah,
label?
really nice bottle.
Yeah, I usually go with 100 proof because I like a little splash of Coke. I'm still
Yeah.
a bourbon Coke guy. I'm not
Nothing wrong with
sipper.
that.
Yeah, it gives me
Yeah.
heartburn if I just
Okay.
sip it.
Not drinking it neat most of the time.
No, my regular bourbon aisle is right
Okay.
beside this split barrel. It's
Yeah, we'll
everything
check
on
that
the
out.
left-hand side.
What do you know about these Casey Jones right here?
I like the people,
Okay.
and I mean the samples was good when they come.
Is this their distillate? I don't think I've had a lot from them.
Yeah.
Barrel.
Yeah, you got to take care of Kentucky folk. They're close by.
Square Pot distilled and bottled by Casey Jones. That's awesome.
Started off with the moonshine, and then they got the.
Yeah, well, it's hard to make bourbon right out of the gate. It takes a long time, right?
But they got a good outfit going. There's a lot of people that tour.
I've heard of them, but I haven't had a lot of their product. I mean, I joked about it that the name Casey Jones. It was a character in the Ninja Turtle. I think it's a baseball theme though, right?
This is actually was his grandfather's name.
Okay, so it's a family name.
Yeah.
So this is 50% yellow corn, 50% cane sugar. So technically, not a bourbon there. I'm gonna go for one of these bourbons. I think single barrel bourbon.
See, one of the family members with Casey Jones was something in the state ag department. So
Okay.
yeah, when they were talking to me, it was cool how much they were bragging on their corn.
Right. So they grow it all themselves.
No, they've actually. Well, I mean, they grow their own, and they mainly seed it and use what they can. But they've got a lot of surrounding farmers growing it now
Gotcha.
for them.
Okay. So they're not growing it, but it's grown locally.
It's grown locally, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, now they're still growing it, but
Yeah.
somebody's got seed crops. She was talking. It was 3 of them, and she was really fascinating to talk to. I mean, she was carrying on. I like history. It's like the legacy of this liquor store. I bought it from the people who started it. I'm 3rd generation. It's just me and my kids here now. So
Okay. So how long have you had the store?
be 32 years this June.
Wow, that's a long time.
Well, 23 years in this building. My original store, it wasn't no bigger than this little area right here,
Okay.
and it's actually under the road now. So
So they built the road over
it
it.
was a 2-lane highway before it was this.
Okay. So what's the secret to keep a liquor store going for 32 years?
I just stay competitive. Me and one other American left in this town. Everything else is foreigner, and they're high. They try to, they don't give like competition.
You got to stay price competitive on the daily drinkers, right?
Well, like when I came up here, when I first bought the original liquor store, it was just right after a price war. There was a bunch of liquor stores that failed, opened up a bunch of licenses. This lady approached me. I was actually up here opening up a nightclub, but I always loved this liquor store because it was Franklin. That's my hometown. Lit City's right around the corner, in Greenwood Spirit Shop, which the Travelstead family has such a following. So I had to be price advantageous.
Right.
I mean, if I matched, if I cut Vet City, well, he would go even lower. So he had to be the cheapest. So I didn't mess around his price too much. I might be $1 or something over. And in Greenwood, they were fairly high, so it wasn't too hard to, but those were the two closest ones to me. Now between me and my hometown, there's 3 more liquor stores, and everybody's about convenience.
Yeah.
But I've got a lot of customers that drive by 3 or 4 stores to get to me just because of me.
Yeah.
But that's the way it was back then. The Travelsteads, when he sold his store, there was actually a flood in the market because he wasn't in the business no more. People let go of that loyalty.
Yeah.
Because they knew he was high. But they did it because of the loyalty.
So that opened up a lot of new customers for everybody.
And all these foreigners, they cuss me in their native tongue. I hear from the drivers. I was like, well, as long as they're talking about it. Because I still act like I always did when I had the competitors that I had.
Right.
I'm still at the same markup. I got some, but a lot of people just convenience. It's just whatever's convenient for them. I can't believe how much I sell on DoorDash with all them fees and stuff on it.
Yeah, convenience.
I'm like, man,
Yep.
you just, maybe you can't get out. Maybe you ain't got a license.
Maybe they've already been drinking all day, right?
For you, probably. So,
The fees are cheaper than a DUI.
yeah, because, I don't know about the ride share.
Right.
It might be cheaper than some of them fees. Because I got on there and looked at what mine would be. I was like, oh, I believe I can get a taxi over it cheaper now.
Might have to start a delivery service, huh?
Nah, it's too much wear and tear. I got too many jobs now as it is.
So if you've got to stay price competitive, you mind sharing why you go secondary on the allocated stuff?
Well, because of all the opening of the stores and where I have been here for so long, I have a lot of big wig fancy customers.
Right.
Presidents, vice presidents and stuff, or people who got a big commission who want a really good bottle. So, I always try to keep good expensive bottles around that they can make an impression with, but I don't get them that often. Van Winkle was from 2023. I got 2 that year, and I always put them on bid. I don't price them. I let people price them.
Right.
What it's worth to them. $1,100 is what the other one brought. I kept it for a little while and then I put it out. I don't know where I rank it in the top 1,000 in the norm, but I know I don't get no good bottles like I used to. Because, they took the cap off the liquor licenses, and so now they're not restricted. And these Indians are opening them up more and more and more, you know.
And that allocated stuff gets distributed to more and more stores. Yeah.
Sliver with them more than, yeah, because, you know, they can't deny them. They got to give them a shot at it. I don't get this stuff no more. So I try to hang on to good bottles for those customers that come in.
Put it at that price because you'll eventually somebody will want it bad enough.
Well, you know, it's like that half gallon of Weller's is $169. I still get one of them. They'll send me a big bottle and a fifth. It used to be every month. Now it's every 2 or 3 months. So, you know, the big bottle's $169 and the little bottle's $89. Little bottle don't hardly sit in there no time.
Right.
It don't take it very long because that's why there's not one in there now. I'm kind of accumulating on the big bottles. But, you know, one day, like I said, you know, because like now, I haven't got a Weller this year. Not this year. So, you know, I think last one I got was maybe November. Got one of each.
You ever do barrel picks or anything like that?
My store pick would be my Irish whiskey.
Okay.
I've got a Fighting 69th that I hand picked that they had blended.
Right.
And so I got a half a barrel.
So you a fan of Irish whiskey or?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a third Irish, Scotch, and 2/3 Viking. So, Viking German.
Now you've been here 30-something years. Any like dusty old bottles been sitting around for a decade or so?
Well, for about 23 years. Most all of those are dusty in the back. But yeah, they're here. Like at Phillips Union, they don't make it no more.
The Phillips Union up top. Yeah, let's check out the selection real quick. Let's see, we've got that single barrel bourbon. This is a Kentucky straight bourbon. 4 years old. All right. I don't think I've ever seen that bottle. Dickel Rye whiskey. Don't usually look at the George Dickels, but don't know that one. Of course, the Irish. A little more bourbon hiding over here. Double-barreled Armagnac. I'm not sure what that is there. Of course, a bunch of gift sets back here. The old Christmas gift sets. Old Turkey Rare Breed bottle right there. Look at those. Dusty Turkey 101s and an old Cash Strength Maker's Mark. Old Multi-Wax's Maker's Mark. Bourbon County 150. Dusty Early Times. How much are you asking for those little Wild Turkey Rare Breed bottles down there?
The
ones that were down.
Oh, okay, 69.
69 for those.
Yeah, they belong to nickel.
How old is that blend sitting up there? Is that just dust? It almost looks empty. It's got so much dust on it.
It's from 92. Still got red ink on there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's only got blue color.
Oh, you don't think it's got whiskey in it?
No.
Okay.
It's got the seal broke off of it. We looked at it. I used to have one that sat in front of it that was still had the $45 sticker on the box. And there was a guy who seen it. He seen that red ink. He said, "Oh, that's a Japanese bottle." I was like, "No, it's not." He's like, "Yes, it is." He said, "That's the only ones that have red ink on it." I said, "Well, if you look right there, it says 93.
Yeah.
I said, "Everything had red ink back in." So he wound up offering like $4.75 for it. It was my bottle. I took it home when I lived out at the farmhouse, and I hid it behind a lunchbox on a shelf just like it. Daddy found it and thought he really found something. He's like, "You ever seen that before?" I was like, "Was that the one behind the lunchbox?" And he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, I've
But
seen it.
after that guy offered $4.75, Daddy looked at him. He said, "If it don't bring $1,000, it'll sit right there." About 3 weeks later, it was a guy who'd come in and bought my Woodford collection out like twice. He said, "Boy, I wish your daddy would price that bottle up there." I said, I heard him tell a guy the other day, if it didn't bring $1,000, it'd sit right there. So I said, "I guess $1,000 would get it." Sit there, and he said, "I'll take it." I said, "Well, let me go get the ladder because I don't want to drive it." Yeah, he was tickled to death. Still had a $45 price tag on. That's back when I could still order 5 cases at a time.
Yeah, when nobody wanted it.
Well, no, it was a good seller, you know,
Okay.
because, I was always selling it, you know, but, man, it wasn't nothing to hit 5 cases because, you still had pints. I had a shit ton of them little 50s.
Right.
Last one of them I sold when it went to where you couldn't get it no more. I sold one of them 50s for $100.
Wow.
I still sell them for 50.
They drop in
I got
Alabama
them.
every once in a while.
I got that one that I won't sell. So that's why I ain't got them. People still buy them.
Yeah, people still take them.
This is so cute, I got to have it.
Oh, the little guy. Oh, you've got a little Wellers too.
Well, those,
You don't see those.
Those don't actually exist.
I was about to say I've seen people make them.
Yeah.
I didn't know if
There was somebody who sells online and stuff, and he's like, I made these up. He said, put my own labels. He said, because, I think you ought to have to invest in a whole bottle to try it. And I was like, well, I guess you're right. I said, but nobody's ever said anything. He's like, nah. I was like, well, good for you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Yes, sir. Cool old collection of whiskey. Really cool spot. Good conversation. Dude's been here forever. Definitely charges secondary prices on a lot of stuff, but he's also got some cool old vintage stuff you're probably not going to find anywhere else. But we found a cool single barrel that I haven't seen anywhere else. I mean, I'm sure they're out there. I've seen some Casey Jones stuff in the past. Haven't picked it up. Now I've got a single barrel. Looking forward to giving that one a try. Let's head on to the next door. This is U&V Liquors. Ooh, Weller store pick right there in the front row. Foolproof store pick for $200. $99 on Blanton's. All you can handle. Foolproof for $65. Little birthday. So secondary on some of these, although Elmer can get up there crazy. That's reasonable secondary. Well, I say it's not reasonable for that bottle, but less than others. How much are you charging for a regular Weller Foolproof? The non-store pick?
$169.99.
$169, and then these over here are $199s. Looks like they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 of those. Of course, the Colonel Taylors. Which one? Barrel proof. Straight rye. Single barrel. 4 grain. Ooh. Don't know if I even want to know on that 4 grain. 150 on the Stag, which is like, that's, if I absolutely needed one, I've paid that price for it. I've been able to find them better than that. This man's got all the Blantons in the world. Of course, the benchmark stuff. 99 on an Old Forester, 59 on a Weller Special Reserve. Probably the best price I've seen on that today. More Blantons, Bookers. I feel like 99 is a reasonable price on a Blanton's. At least back in the day when they were super hyped and you couldn't find them anywhere. That was like my limit that I would pay for one if I really needed one, which I very rarely did. I mean, it's still a markup, but at least it's not an absurd markup. Tequilas, the tequilas. I don't see anything particularly crazy here. The big boy Buffalo Trace is there. What's your price on a George T. Stag?
800.
800. Okay. Honestly, not bad prices for a lot of that stuff. I mean, Eagle Rare, small markups for Eagle Rare, Weller Special Reserve, and Blanton's. As rare as those are, if a store is not marking them up at all, they're probably a little bit crazy. So, little markup on those, pretty good to see. Obviously, a lot of markup on some of the super rare items, but you could get some pretty nice bottles here at a reasonable price. Like, that was kind of surprising. I saw the barrel with the Weller on their Google profile and thought, there's no way those are actually going to be sitting there. And they are. They're sitting right there as soon as you walk into the freaking door. I don't know what Weller Foolproof is going for on the secondary market, but 200 is too much for me to pay for it. If I'm going to drink it, I am going to pass. I do have a bottle. I did get one at MSRP in the Alabama ABC drop, which was probably the last bourbon hunt video before this one. So this is Parkway Liquors. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Oh, not bad. I've got a YouTube channel where we just do bourbon hunts. So we were just checking out the bourbon selection.
There's a lot of guys started lately, I guess.
Do what?
There's a lot of guys that started lately.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that started lately. We've been doing it for a little while.
I think you are the third guy. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Third one.
Just this store particular.
Well, maybe I'm the best one. Save the best for last. Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm probably the worst one.
Nah, You never know when you get famous. And one line, that's all you need.
One line to get famous? Yeah. Okay. Can you help me get famous? Can you give me the line?
I can't be, man.
You can't
I stay away from the social media.
Okay. The Peerless Toasted right there. $90 for an Old Forester single barrel proof. I'm seeing a lot of those this year, but man, that's a good whiskey for the price. $70 Woodford Double Oaked pick. The Double Oaked being $200. Some of these picks, if they lean more toward the oaky side, taste a lot like the Woodford Double Oaked to me. They're 70-ish bucks. I mean, sometimes a pick will be a little marked up, but it's 70-ish bucks, and it's very similar to that Double Oaked. Any particular good hidden gems here? Like, we're not always looking for allocations. I mean, allocation's great, but like, we're looking for good whiskey is what we're looking for.
You can recommend that as if they're rye.
Oh, the single barrel proof ryes are really nice.
Yeah, that's if you want to advertise it. That's our sticker.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Then this is another rye I really recommend if no one has it.
Starlight, yeah. I think we bought a bottle of that rye not long ago. Or barrel, excuse me.
$17.92 full proof single barrel, really worth it at that price.
Okay.
Anything above that price, not worth it. Elijah Craig Toasted, same, 60 bucks, it's worth it. Above it, no.
I mean, all your pricing's pretty solid. For your allocated stuff, is it normally going to be secondary price?
No, it's not like completely secondary.
Okay.
It's just in between.
Gotcha.
And like in the middle of the way, I'd say. And some stuff it's higher, some stuff it's low.
Yeah.
Because all this stuff is allocated too. You won't see at that price either.
These are not your picks or anything. These are just their standard
regular,
offering.
yeah.
Okay.
It's not our pick. We did it. It's on the way, but it's I don't know how long they're gonna do. Then Peerless, that's a hidden gem, a little bit pricey, not
Those are
pocket
good,
friendly,
though.
but really worth
Yeah,
it.
double oaked and a toasted sitting there.
Green River, that's another one. That's a good one.
Although we say a lot of good things about the cash strength right there. Single barrel cash strength
Yeah,
or foolproof, but
we got the single barrel of that too. Our pick. If you never had it, regular drinking JTS 100 proof. That's
the best bottom shelfer.
yep.
Okay, I'm a big fan of those
Next to it,
benchmarks.
Like foolproof benchmark,
Yeah.
you can't beat that single barrel. You can't beat that at that price. Same thing I always say about the ET bottle in Bond. 1 liter, really good stuff.
Oh, it's a great bottle.
Then Overhold 14 4-year rye. That's a good too for that price.
Yeah, I think I have that one.
Oh, this regular Remus. If you never had it, you ever had it?
I think I have a Remus 4.
Yeah, any of their like it's really good juices.
Remus is one of those MGP brands, I believe, with really good stuff. Looks like you've got all the Buffalo Trace in the world. Is this a single barrel or is this?
No, we got a single barrel too. It's not a single barrel. We got single barrel right there. This is just a regular. We got a lot more than that sitting in the back.
Okay.
Then Muhlenberg, that's another good one too. You never had it. They come up with their cream and all that. Those are good too, but Muhlenberg.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one. Are they distilling it themselves?
I don't know about that, but it's right between Owensboro and Bowling Green if you take to the Muhlenberg County.
Says it's distilled by them. Distilled and bottled. Oof, aged at least 1 year. Yeah, that's rapidly aged there. Yeah, that's a great price on that.
Yeah, you can't beat that. It's I think under usually 100 and above.
Yeah.
And we have 2 different barrels. Both are different barrels.
Okay, both are your own single barrels?
Yes, but one is picked by the master distiller and one is picked by us.
Gotcha. Which one do you like better?
Personally, not a bourbon guy. I'm a Scotch drinker.
Really?
Yep.
So what's the Scotch of choice? Educate me. I'm not a Scotch guy. I don't know anything about it.
I usually go with the Glenlivet 12 or Glenfiddich 12 or Macallan 12. That's the 3 only.
So you like 12-year-old Scotches?
Yeah, that's the only 3.
Okay.
Taste-wise, I can't explain you the way you guys do. Like caramel, chocolate, cookie. I can't tell.
Good or not, right?
Yeah, it's go down smoother. That's it.
I understand.
We don't have a huge selection of the scotches here. We don't sell.
Yeah, lean more toward bourbon. A lot of bourbon here.
Yeah. It's not a Scotch supportive state. Since we make a bourbon here. And Maker's Mark 101, that is really good also.
Yeah.
And we got some Knob Creek 18 at the lowest price you can see.
Those 18s have been around a lot lately. 179, yeah. I remember when those were $300, $400. Yeah.
250, 260. I sell mine when it first came out around that price. Then we got some Old Forester 117. So that is a good price too. $64.99.
Is that the extra old? I think those are the ones I've seen around today.
That's too, yeah.
Okay.
This is the really good price too, with Reserve Double Double Oak, 200.
I mean, that's MSRP. I bought one yesterday or Saturday in Alabama for 200. That's and Alabama sells everything MSRP.
You don't see that around here, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's usually 225 and above around here. And a little of this stuff is higher, but we got the 4 Roses single barrel, $60. Can't beat that.
I'm looking. I don't know which one I'm missing, but I've got the OBSF for sure. That's the problem with bourbon hunting as much as we do. So we own almost everything.
It's used to if you're a tequila drinker.
I'm starting to get into tequila. Is that the one that's like finished in a bourbon barrel?
Eagle
like
Rare.
Yeah, Eagle Rare barrel.
Have you ever had it?
Maybe. I can't recall.
You sip tequila or you just like don't like?
Tequila is the thing that I drank too much of in college. Overdid it a couple times, and so it just like super big into it. I did just get a Fortaleza. That's pretty good.
One of the hardest around here. They don't give us that much in the state of Kentucky.
Don't see a lot of it.
Nope, not at all.
So I haven't even grained some little baby Blantons down there.
And you don't see that, I don't know.
It's the Sazerac cognac.
Yeah.
Never had it though.
It's good. I had it. It's good. You'll get like a really good grape flavors in it.
Gotcha.
Because cognac is like mostly close to the wine base. Yeah, so you'll get that. It's not that sweet either, but it's really good balanced taste of grape and alcohol combined. It's too much sweet with the grape, it just tastes like a cup syrup.
Right. So what's your price on like that Handy back there? Or that Weller 12?
Thomas Handy 400, Weller 12 180.
Okay. 1924?
150.
150, okay. I'm seeing a lot of those. I think they put out a lot of that 1924 this year.
It's gonna be a regular thing now. I think when they first released, it was like people were thinking it's gonna be once a year thing or something like that.
Right.
But it's actually they're one of the regular releases at like 1910, same like their other release.
It's gonna be sitting on the shelf. They're everywhere, and I've started seeing places like put them below MSRP now.
Mine is a little bit higher, but we just got 2 bottles for right now. If we get more, don't mind to lower it down.
Yeah, if it stocks up too much.
Yeah, we got Millennium.
You make me a deal on that one, I'm sure, right?
7,200. That price is below than MSRP.
Dude, I've seen those for like, for wholesale, which is what, 55, something like that? I've seen people like, just please take this out of here.
Yep.
I think they overshot their market with those a little bit.
Yep, they price it too much. Consumers have options. We don't. We just got it. We can't refuse it either.
So you have to take it, pretty much?
Kind of, yeah.
Keep that relationship open. You're like, hey, get us more of these. We'll take one of those.
No, it's not like that. But it's they don't in the Sazerac it don't affect any relationship or either. But it's based on all your buyings.
Right.
But once you cancel someone, that's put a red flag in their system. Like someone refused the item, so you like cut something.
Yeah. So they might not offer you the next thing.
I'm thinking like that. I don't know if it's true or not. That's what
it's not a
think.
formal way of doing it, but you're afraid of that.
Yeah.
I got you. Makes sense. Find something here. How much is this cognac?
I said MSRP. $129.99.
All right, I'll take that. I haven't drank a lot of cognac, so let's try something different.
And what's your channel name?
Brewzle, Brewzle.
Brewzle Bourbon Hunting.
Yeah.
Now the advertiser gotta come subscribe. You got one more 75. Good man, 752K.
Yeah.
You got pretty good subscribers.
We're doing okay.
Do you like give us store names?
Yeah. I mean, so what we're trying to do is a couple of things. We're trying to find and showcase small whiskey brands, right? When we do the bourbon hunts, we obviously look for allocated, hard to find stuff because that's what people out there are looking for. But we also try to make sure we buy some local store picks. The last store I went to, I bought a Casey Jones pick they had. We try to bring business to stores that are doing cool things, right? Or are doing it right. Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
It's nice talking to you. Yes, sir. I have a lot of Old Forester barrel-proof single barrels. Gone through a bunch of them. We've dumped some of them in the Infinity barrel. Good price for that bottle, though. Overall, cool store. A little bit of secondary markup. You might, if you were a regular, be able to negotiate. I didn't even try. It's all good. We got what we were looking for here. Got a pretty good bourbon selection. Good conversation. I had a great time hunting here in Bowling Green. Picked up a few things. Really looking forward to trying that Casey Jones. Haven't really tried anything from them that I can recall. Happy to have that one. Got a cognac too. I don't know much about cognac. The ones I've had, haven't been great, but they're a little more mainstream. I haven't tried a little more rare Sazerac cognac, so gonna have a good time with that one. Hit me with a bottle kill down in the comments. Let me know that you watch all the way through to the end of these. I appreciate you watching. See you in the next one.